So, good evening everyone, thanks for inviting me here. It's a pleasure and an honor for me to be surrounded with so good people. Well, I didn't prepare this speech very well because he sent me on Wednesday and I had a very stress week. And I wanted to try to achieve as much that as I could. But first of all, well, I will speak about the Catalonian problem nowadays that is happening in my country, in Spain. And first of all, you know, usually the independentist movements used to give a historical reason for such a independence. So I have a very short speech about how is the history of Catalonia will be. That it started in the year 807 with Wilfredo, the hairy Wilfredo was called, but he just became. It was just the county of Barcelona. It was not the territory of Catalonia. Nowadays, it will be a lot of different counties fighting each other with no unity. So that was Catalonia at the beginning. But finally, in the 12th century, the Earl Ramon Berenguer IV incorporated that counties under the Aragon's kingdom. When the Aragonese King Ramiro II agreed a marriage between her daughter Petronila and Ramon Berenguer. So he remained as Earl of Barcelona, not as King of Aragon, while Petronila was the ruler of the kingdom. So neither they didn't have power neither in the realm. After that, the biggest battle for the independentist people is in 1714 when there was a succession war, not a secession one, between Austrias and Bourbons. So at the beginning they were on the Bourbons side, but there was some problems during the war. They changed their side and they were in the Austrias side. Finally, the Austrias were defeated and, well, Spain was ruled by the Bourbons. They said that Spain conquered Catalonia. It's not true. In fact, their hero, the hero for the independentists, is Rafael Casanova, that many identitary groups, for example, right-wing, whatever, they also celebrate that day in September 11. That is the national holiday in Catalonia. And when Rafael de Casanova was asking the people to fight against the Bourbons, they said, "We will fight for our king, we will fight for Spain." He wasn't saying we will fight for Catalonia because that was ridiculous in that period. Anyway, of course, Catalonia has a language, has a lot of different traditions, like we have maybe in Zamora, Cuenca, or different parts of Spain. That is the thing that makes us rich. But we must work in this unity. And according to just to try to speak how it started, even if the demonstrations that happen these days seem to be something spontaneous, they have been prepared a few time ago. So on September 3rd, for example, the independentist platform Catalonia and National Assembly and Omnium Cultural, that they are financed by George Soros, that I think some of you will heard about him. Yeah. Well, they had prepared a plan B in case the Spanish government tries to stop the referendum, trying to do a kind of Arab Spring, using the techniques of Gene Sharp that spoke about the kind of non-violent resistance, all that stuff, but they had already prepared it time ago. Well, on 8th September, the youth section from CUP, that it will be the Popular Union candidature, that is extra left-wing anti-system, they call themselves. Yeah, they start to prepare actions that they called the Separatists Tahrir Square. So So we see which is the way. On August 8th, they spoke about Catalonia Maidan also. So yes, being Andreu Mascolell, the responsible of that kind of fantasy. Andreu Mascolell, who is a member from the Diplocat Consultative Board, a kind of diplomatic organism from Catalonia, an organism who has received generous funding from George Soros too. Another interesting point about Mascolell is that he participated in a conference called about populism and human dignity, promoted by Arthur Brooks, president from the American Enterprise Institute, one of the most powerful and influential think tanks from the USA. In that conference, the AEI saw with no reservation his support to the Catalonian sovereignist project. This organization is directly bound in the colors revolutions, as the investigator Thierry Meyssan pointed accusing them to prepare a soft strike with Israel against the Iranian government in 2002. Mascolell had visited Arthur Brooks during a few trips to USA, displaying the close relationship between them, as Arthur Brooks had meetings with the Catalonian president Puigdemont, publishing pictures together, calling them my friends from the Generalitat, will be the Catalonian government. But this is not the only relationship that the Catalonian government has with important characters from the American establishment. The president had also a meeting with Mario Díaz-Balart, Diana Ross Lethnian and Carlos Curbelo, ultraliberals and anti-Castro politicians, with the company of Arthur Brooks always, which after that reunion said that the Catalonia could be the new European Hong Kong. They spoke about how could work an independent Catalonia in the European economy, being a kind of fiscal paradise. That's the idea they have. During those trips to USA, they also established a good relationship with the Republican Dana Aurora Bacher, who has had a very important role in the imperialist and NATO agenda. Even knowing this, the Occidental media still says that Russia is behind the entire problem. Coming back to Dana Aurora Bacher, the promotion of independentists reinforced from Washington has been a constant during his career. In Balkans War, for example, in 1998, he was an active defender of the American support, financing and supplying with arms to the Liberation Army of Kosovo. That we know they were drug dealers, and well, we all know the profit earned by USA after this collaboration. Of course, you, Kris, already spoke about it. So he also wrote a letter recommending the support to separatist movements in Iran as a way to intervene in the country. Another curious Puigdemont's friend, well, Puigdemont, I think I didn't say it, but it's the president of Catalonia. That's it. Another friend of him will be Elliot Engel. He's a Democrat leader from the Congress Foreign Affairs Committee. Another fervent defender of the independent Kosovo. A EU with strong links with the American-Israeli lobby, supporting the declaration of Jerusalem as Israel's capital city and putting up against Obama in his nuclear agreement with Iran. He also worked on intervention strategies in Caribbean and Latin America. And, these are some of the friends that the Catalonian government has and that supports their idea of independence. And now I will speak a little bit about the different characters that are playing in Catalonia before, because it could be just a kind of introduction. After that we could start a debate if you want to. Don't be making a very long speech. So we will have, Theo is the main, that nowadays is called PDK. It was called CU, that it was the Convergence and Union. It was a liberal party they had a very good relationship with the central government of Aznar, that he had agreements with also the independentist movements from Basque Country, and they had a good relationship only because of the money. You know, liberals, they don't have fatherland, their fatherland is the money, so they wanted to earn votes and they used them. They didn't care about Spain, they used the independentist movements to have more votes. Of course, the independentists were not stupid. They asked for the education. In that period, we are speaking about the 90s. So with the education, you can form your people. Nowadays, we have this problem because of that. So this will be now it's called the Democratic Party from Catalonia. This is the Puigdemont's party. This is the liberal one. We spoke already about their friends. But there is yet left movements that they support also the independence, even if they are internationalists and they want to make small nations inside other nations. So we have the left movement that's called Esquerra Republicana. It will be a Republican on the left. They support NATO in their imperialist actions against Libya, Syria, and any other countries where they need. In the Syrian case, that is interesting just today, they were so radicals that at the end of 2012, required the intervention of the International Penal Court to punish the Assad's government and freeze all his assets. And in 2016, the same party attacked the Spanish government because it's allowed the Russian army to dock in Ceuta for supporting Assad's troops, calling him terrible dictator, Assad. Well, we have different... from here I didn't translate it. I had no time, so I will translate by the way. But the connection with the Zionism is also worrying with this political movement. That is, there was an interview in 2015 where there was a diplomatic from North Korea, a Spanish diplomatic from North Korea, called Alejandro Cao de Venos. I don't know if you know him. It's a Spanish that went there. He became diplomat from North Korea. He spoke about, with his contacts in intelligence services. They told him that the independentist movements have a very strong link with the Zionist groups, and they want to give the sovereignty of the independent Catalonian state to Israel, according to the sources of this guy that I don't know, but it's something to just think about. I'm sorry, but well, in the Greens, that will be the ecologists, they also support this process, and they made some speech about Syria, like asking to the European Unity and United States to convoke Foreign Affairs Council, Extraordinary Foreign Affairs Council, to examine the situation in Syria and evaluate which measures could the European Union take to give support to the democratic opposition in Syria. So these are the also communists, I suppose. But we have also the very important movement that is making a lot of noise these days in Catalonia, that is the Popular Union Candidature, CUP, Candidatura Unión Popular, that they consider themselves an system, and well, I'm sorry, but well, they had they celebrate a meeting with a girl called Leila Nachatawi. That this woman is an agent from CIA that writes the rules for the agenda for the NATO and Israel in Syria, for example. So, and they invite her to give some conferences about Middle East. So these are the principal characters that are playing this game nowadays in Spain. So in theory, all the media, of course, says that Russia is behind this. They have Russian hackers doing all the thing for the referendum. Of course, the referendum, even if they celebrate it, Kris was saying that the Madrid government is making a very good propaganda because of sending police and all the stuff. You know, they are going to make something that it's illegal. They said it's illegal. When we made demonstrations, normal demonstrations, they also sent police just to see that we don't do anything illegal. And believe me that we have been beaten harder than the independentists for made less things. You know, they had orders to don't do anything there. Of course, the left wing always know how to move very well the propaganda, so they were provoking all time the police, and they just send the videos of the police having a reaction, not the previous things. But of course we had, you know, in Spain this is moving so fast, and we have the original videos with all the scenes, the complete scene, how it was. They, for example, they destroyed 2 cars from Guardia Civil and they stole all the weapons, for example. And they don't speak about that. There was the autonomical police with those people and taking pictures with the cars destroyed. So they don't speak about that. And for me, they didn't act so hard as they should act.
It's a bit.
At least, probably you saw pictures also. There's a kid with his head broken, covered with blood. This is very interesting because it's from a demonstration 5 years ago. And yeah, that picture is from a demonstration from 5 years ago. And the guys that broke him the head was the autonomical police from Barcelona. Yeah, they are using old pictures from all demonstrations that you can find them in the newspaper. Yes. so it's easy, but it's just propaganda. We all know how they play propaganda. When they say that there were 2 million votes for the referendum, and they say that 90% was pro-referendum. Well, no, they say that the 90% was pro-referendum, pro-independence. First of all, it should be 7 million votes. This is the population that can vote in Catalonia. They just vote 2 million. Supposed to vote 2 million. Because you see a lot of pictures, it was illegal, there was no control, so you see a lot of pictures, people voting 5, 6 times, 7 times.
Yes, I know that.
And of course, they were in the boxes for the votes, and before the voting, a box fell off in the ground, it opened, it was already full of votes. So, you know, that obviously is a manipulation. Let's see how does it finish. But